I wanted to actually show you how to get wax off some of these corks. And if you've seen one of my other videos, do not make the same mistake I did, which is have a blunt knife, which I'm also going to have in this video. But also if you are putting a white wine with a wax top in the fridge, make sure to take the wax off before you put it in the fridge, because once it goes in the fridge, it does make that wax a little bit harder to get off, as you would have seen in my other video. So I promised that once I figured out how to get wax tops off effectively, I would do another video. I'm going to include that in this because this is the perfect lineup to do it. So the simplest thing to do is essentially just drive the corkscrew, losing my words today, corkscrew right through the wax and just pull it out as if the wax is not there. Sometimes the wax is really hard, so that won't work. And you might have a little bit of difficulty pulling the cork. Usually that's when the wax is a lot thicker. So then what you do is you just take the corkscrew out and you cut around it like it's a capsule. And then once you get the wax off, you open it as you would normally. When I'm using a Coravin, I don't like to put it through the wax because it can, if it's too thick, clog up the system. So I prefer to at least remove the wax or a part of the wax so I can get access to the cork. The easiest wax to actually get off are these little wax droplets on the top. They're super simple. All you do is basically take the sort of pointy end of the corkscrew and you essentially just lift it up and it flicks off. So super nice and easy. Otherwise, you can sort of take to it a little bit like you would a capsule. So instead of going under the lip, sometimes it's a little bit easier to go closer to where the actual cork is, so the opening, because you really just want to expose the cork. This one actually has a little bit of a crack in the wax, which is going to make my job easier with my blunt knife. If you've watched my other videos, so you kind of just want to, oh, see, that made it so much easier. But if it didn't flip off like that, you would essentially just kind of carve around it. So this one's going to be nice and easy for me with my blunt knife. And then you just expose the cork. So super simple as well.